All right, now that we are back in this episode, let's take a look at what we want to do. The first thing we want to do is we want to add a loot drop for our small crate. And there was one more thing that was kind of bothering me was the name, the box. We don't really want AI1. And the reason we had that was in the player types NPCs tab, you had true for the show name label. So I just set that to false in case you guys want to do that too. Of course, for the player, if you want to hide that guy, you would do that here as well. Now, just to kind of make sure you guys understand, the AI player is assigned to NPCs, and yeah, that's why these guys, the AIs, are essentially AI1. But regardless, let's get into the solution. So, small crate. Okay, let's go to the script here, and this is where we would add a weapon, right? Okay, what we can do is add a new action and create something, right? We want to create something, but most likely we want to create an item, right? The UZ. So here we can say create item. So here we can create the UZ, add position, and the position, instead of doing like camera position or random position, we can simply do entity position. So the position of this entity, right? Click okay. So we're going to create, oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. So we created UZ, it just moved down. So we want to make sure that this happens before we destroy. We're going to create a UZ at the position of this entity. Now what we can do is hit save and apply, and this should work. But let's do one more thing to actually make sure that this works. We're going to add a projectile. So let's go to our projectile here and add a constant speed button. Here, we'll create this as bullet. And what we can do here is, yeah, I think that's actually it. We'll change everything else later. We just want to actually shoot a bullet. Now, in our UZ, in order to actually use this, we need to go over to the weapons tab. In the bullet type, you can see projectile selected. Then projectile type, we're going to select the bullet. All right, let's hit save and apply, and then let's republish. All right, once we're in, let's test this and see if it works. Okay, we got the UZ, and we can pick it up, and we're able to shoot. Awesome, it works. We can even destroy another crate and pick up that UZ and get more bullets. So you can see it stack. Awesome. Now, you might notice though that the bullets are kind of like stuttering. They're a little weird, right? That is because in the bullet, in the extra here, we are streaming to stream position. Now we can change this to not stream, or you could leave it on one. It's really up to you. But I do suggest you try this out. Hit save, and let's hit play, and we might have to republish for this to actually work. All right, so once we're in, we can see that it's a little smoother. Now, the main difference is here. This is a client-side prediction, and this is a server authoritative bullet. That's the basic idea. So I do believe that 0 not streamed would be a bit smoother. It would be a little less laggy, essentially, in your game. So I'm going to leave it on not streamed. All right. All right. So that's basically our bullets for a gun. Now, if you want to change the position of this gun, because it's kind of far off, we can actually go to the UZ and scroll down to body types, go to selected, and we can go to unit anchor. Now, if we take this and change this to 0, no, actually, this might have to be the item anchor. Let's change this to 20 and see what we get. All right, we can see it's a little closer, and that's actually pretty good. I think I'll actually leave it like that. So the bullet or the gun looks good, but the crowbar you can see is also still kind of far. So let's go over to our crowbar and change this as well. I think I'll do 20 for this guy's. Awesome. Now we have a nice little crowbar that is right next to us, and we have a bullet that is also right next to us. We can start shooting then. All right, awesome. Now we have one more issue, which is that the bullet kind of looks weird when it hits other things. Now, to fix this, what we'll do is we have a few options. One, we can just destroy the bullet when it hits something, and that's actually not that hard. We could go into our bullet, add a script, and we can say destroy on collision, and we'll select a trigger. When this entity touches a wall, and when this entity well, it's not and, but or. So if this happens, or if this happens, when a this thing touches the unit. So if either of these things happen, what we can do, simply say destroy entity, destroy this entity. There we go. That's it. Now, I want to add a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to projectile, add a stationary effect, change cell sheet, and we'll add the explosion animation. Now we'll rename this to explosion and believe that should automatically be set up. So yeah, there we go. It's automatically set up in the animations. And so we don't actually need to do anything. Now in our explosions animation, the way this works is that basically we're going to create this object uh, once this collides. So that's not that hard. I want you to actually pause the video because we've already done this. In this video, we created another object. So now I want you to create this explosion object that we just created on top of the bullet when it collides. All right, so give that a try and let's see. All right, so hopefully you've tried it on your own. But here in the add actions, we will create a projectile at position. Of the projectile type, we will create an explosion. At position, we're going to say position, entity position, and position of this entity. Here we go. Then apply, we're going to apply 0, and then at 0 radian. So we don't want it to move, nor do we want it to rotate. Now, make sure we do this first. So save and apply. And let's republish to test this out. All right, let's scale one of these loot boxes up, and we can see it works. Awesome. We can destroy anything with a bullet. It doesn't go through things anymore. It simply hits one thing and plays the explosion animation, which is pretty nice. All right, there we go. Now we have a nice little smooth animation. Okay, so that's basically it for this. Once we're done this, now one other thing we could do though, because if you noticed, the lifespan of the explosion was a little too long. So we can go over here and change this to 500. If you notice, essentially, kind of to repeat, the explosion animation was happening kind of twice. So yeah, let's republish and see what we get. Okay, so now the animation only plays once, whereas before it was playing twice. So we've kind of just timed it where the explosion lifetime or lifespan is just happening, living 500 instead of 1,000. All right, so that's pretty much it. So we're pretty much done, to be honest. The deathmatch is almost done. The only thing that's left that we can add is a shop. Now, we can add that, but in the next video, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you an assignment. I'm going to get you guys to try to randomize the weapon drop. So I want you to add more than one weapon, obviously, because right now we only have two. So add one or two, three different weapons, some different guns, and then I want you to try to randomize the small crate. Because right now, if we kill one of these crates, it always drops the same item. And I don't really like that. Kinda, you know, I want to drop different weapons, right? What if I want like a rare weapon, right? So I want you to try to randomize it and add those kind of things. Okay. So give that a try, and I'll see you guys in the next